Hi, I'm Juice, and the only thing bigger than my truck is my streamer box. Today we will be tying the, today we'll be tying the Pine Squirrel Leech, hashtag Little Bug Club. The Pine Squirrel Leech has got to be my favorite streamer pattern of all time. Just, tie it on a super simple, think Dairiki 125, 2488 heavy, if you're a Tiemco tire, which, let's face it, why would you not? Are kind of my favorite hooks for this bug. Super simple fly. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start out with a little bit of flash for the undertail material, and I literally like 2 pieces of flash. Very, very mute is kind of what we're shooting for with this pattern. This is on a size 12 hook, 10 actually, excuse me, 12 or 10, depending on how big you want to get it, and I've tied it as small as a 14 and kind of kept the idea of the fly together. But that 10 to 12 range is really where this fly, goes to the front of the pack. The next material, obviously enough, is Pine Squirrel. If you're going to get serious about these, and I recommend you do, just buy the whole skins. Plus, they look badass hanging on your wall. It's like they're trophies, Didn't get many of those growing up, unfortunately, so now I'm hanging dead stuff from my wall. So for the tail length here, what I like is, I like it about the length of the shank there. Just kind of to give you a rough idea. You can always cut these too in the field. You can always take your scissors and get to cutting away if you've tied them in a little too long. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come back behind, secure that with 1 wrap, secure that with 2 wraps. See, I just kind of parted that hide there. I've got it right on the bend. Cinch that down. Come forward. I maintain that pressure after my 2 wraps and went forward twice just to make sure that's nice and tied in. And now we're going to go to about a bead width behind the bead. You can kind of see where my finger's pointing in there. And what we're going to do here is, once again, wet our fingers. I use my tongue for this. Some folks use a cup of water. I guess it's all personal preference. Tie that down like that. Tie that down like that. 2 wraps, pull tight. A 3rd for good measure. Pull tight. Wrap in front. This is a tungsten bead. You can use brass, but I find that tungsten bead, especially when I'm swinging, kind of helps me maintain that depth and really stay where the fish are at. And now here's the kind of fun part about this bug is, I've got this and you're saying, well, how do you palmer hide? And that's what's so nice about squirrel, is it's actually hide that you can palmer. And the key is to kind of make sure all those fibers are sort of swept back as we're wrapping through this, and we're going to make 1 wrap. We're going to kind of situate into that bead, and we're manipulating the bead as we're tying this fly. And then as I come up for my 2nd wrap, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that hide is facing out. We'll rotate the vise here. That hide's facing out, away from me to this direction. And I'm going to seat that hide in there like that. And I'm going to get to the top of the fly, and I am going to make 1 loose wrap and then just crank on it and pull that whole assemblance in behind the bead to provide a clean, beautiful profile. And then before we snip here, what we're going to do is we're going to throw our whip finish. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter how many times. Clip our thread out, and then we're going to get right under that hide. We're going to pull it up, flush to the bead, and snip. And that gives us just a super schnittle profile, and we're going to trim our flash to in between, the halfway point in between our longest hair and the hide. Come in there and trim out our 2 pieces of flash. And that is the Pine Squirrel Leech. Guaranteed to catch fish. Guaranteed.